Welcome to this explainer focusing on the architecture of divine identity. I am here to remind you of something your soul already knows. From the moment you entered this world, you were heavily conditioned to just forget your true nature. We were all taught this grand illusion. We were told to feel small, to chase things, to beg, to wait, and to just hope for the best. But the truth is, manifestation is not hard at all. You simply forgot your power.
Think about that for a second. You are not separate from creation. You are creation itself. Ancient mystics, esoteric philosophers, and spiritual adepts have all whispered this exact same forbidden truth for centuries. The only reason manifestation feels so impossibly difficult for us is because we're trying to do it as these tiny, powerless human beings, rather than remembering that we are literally consciousness embodied, and consciousness shapes reality.
All right, let's get right into section 1, the mirror of reality, and shatter this whole illusion of trying to manifest.
Because here is the absolute biggest illusion humanity is currently living under. People actually think manifestation is something they have to go out and try to do. But it's happening every single second. The conditioned human walks around saying, I want, I beg, I wait. But the divine creator, they declare, I am, I embody, I command. The universe operates as a literal mirror. Your reality isn't random, not at all. It doesn't respond to what you want, it bends around what you believe you are, deep down inside. If you believe you're unwanted, reality rearranges itself to confirm that for you. But if you believe you are magnetic, powerful, and divine, there is no other option. Reality immediately begins bending around that new assumption.
And that brings us to imagination, which is literally a sacred portal. It's actually a documented psychological fact that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined inner vision and actual physical reality. That is precisely why all those ancient teachings revered it so much. When you vividly imagine something, your subconscious takes it as the absolute, literal truth. And what does it do? It immediately starts rearranging your external world to confirm it. You are so much more powerful than you were taught.
Let us shift gears into section 2, the secret of identity, and remembering the divine spark.
Every single great spiritual tradition across history encoded the exact same truth, just using slightly different languages. They all pointed to this incredible God force existing within you, not somewhere way out in the sky, but entirely within you. Some called it the divine spark, others called it Christ consciousness, Brahman, source energy. These are all just different words, spanning centuries and entire civilizations, but they are all describing the exact same inner power. While the human body is just a temporary vessel, awareness itself is ancient. All the great traditions knew that your identity is the true command center of your reality.
So how does this work? Well, it's the calm, unshakable architecture of the universe. It's a simple process. Step 1 is the invisible, which is your consciousness. Step 2 is the visible, which is physical reality. Think about it. Before every mighty empire was built, before every great invention was held in someone's hand, it existed first in the invisible mind. Reality is always created twice. When you visualize and emotionally experience your desired reality, you're not just playing make-believe. You are simply selecting a timeline in the invisible space, calling it forward so that it may become visible.
Now you might be wondering, why do so many people completely fail at this? It's because they focus entirely on desire. We have to shift from constantly asking, what do I want, to asking a much deeper question. Who am I being? Wanting actually pushes your manifestation further away, because the very energy of wanting is constantly signaling to the universe, I don't have it. The universe mirrors your identity, not your craving. A wealthy consciousness simply creates wealth, completely naturally.
Let's dive into section 3, attention is creative power. We're getting into the quantum physics of observation now.
In quantum physics, there's this fascinating thing called the observer effect, which demonstrates that the mere act of observation fundamentally alters the behavior of particles. It scientifically hints at what mystics already knew for thousands of years. Your attention is raw energy, and your observation literally affects reality. Yet look at what we do. We unknowingly worship fear every single day. We visualize worst-case scenarios in our heads. We loop and replay painful memories over and over. We constantly expect disappointment. We are giving our deepest fears this intense emotional momentum, and the subconscious mind just takes it and echoes it right back into our physical world.
Because emotion amplifies thought. It's time to stop living accidentally. Imagine just for a second if you deliberately directed that same immense emotional power toward abundance, toward love, toward intelligence, and toward your ultimate destiny. You would completely stop being a victim of circumstances, and you'd start creating your life consciously.
Which brings us to our final piece today, Section 4, Remembering Your Divine Nature. This is the ultimate paradigm shift. Listen, the universe is not out there testing your worthiness. You absolutely do not need to chase your desires as though they're somehow separate from you. This is where true activating faith really comes in. And faith isn't just blind hope. Faith is energetic certainty. It's holding an absolute, unshakable inner knowing way before any physical evidence ever appears. It is the undeniable certainty that what exists in your consciousness can and absolutely must exist physically.
A God does not beg. A creator does not plead. The very moment you truly understand your nature, your manifestation process shifts entirely from desperation to pure embodiment. You stop looking up at the sky, anxiously asking, "Will this happen for me?" And you start to quietly declare, "This already exists within consciousness."
Close your eyes for just a second. Think about every single version of yourself you've ever been. The insecure version, the broken version, the completely unstoppable version. Conditioning can absolutely be rewritten. You are not trapped in your current reality. You were just conditioned to believe you were. And if your identity can change, well, your physical reality absolutely must change right along with it. Stop identifying with limitation right now.
Because reality reorganizes around consciousness. That is the greatest secret of manifestation right there. It was never, ever about becoming something totally new. It was simply about remembering that you are already a powerful creator, a divine observer, and the conscious architect of your entire reality. Reality bends for the one who remembers their divinity. The universe is not happening outside of you. It is flowing constantly through you. Stop speaking like you are merely a victim of reality and start thinking like the true creator of it. Thank you for joining us for this explainer. I want to leave you with just this one profound question. Now that you know you are the architect, what reality will you choose to build today?